Well, if it says we're live, we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tim Downford, living with MS in Tenerife, in Little Germany. Let me just get the sign here. Here we go. Little Germany. Yoo-hoo! Well, there's my Wi-Fi. There's my Wi-Fi, and here's Kirsten in the back there. And they're all decked out for tonight. They are fully booked, in fact. In fact, if we hadn't done what we did and booked a table, we wouldn't have got in. So luckily, I've got till 7, and I've got some guests here, and they're going to stay for some dinner, I think. So I've booked the table for a bit longer than that. And here's the sunset. Beautiful. And we had a surprise guest today, which was Rob. Rob C66.
Hi, Tim. You're right.
There you go. That's a perfect close-up there of Rob. He's going to be monitoring your comments. And we've got some really, really, really good people that have contacted me and said, we'd love to try Little Germany, and if you're available, we'll talk about buying a flat in COVID times, moving over after the year, 90-day rules, all the stuff that you guys want to know about. How much is a packet of fags and how much alcohol can I take back? All this and more on Freaky Friday. Okay, ladies and jelly spoons, here we are on Freaky Friday. You're probably getting bored of Little Germany, but it's a fantastic bar. It's just round the corner. It's got my favourite beer. So why should I go anywhere else, really? Why should I go anywhere else? And, of course, they do the music down for us. Unfortunately, the Irish bar next door has got the music full blast because he's trying to get people in because it's empty at the moment. But it is early. People will turn up. People will turn up. And our guests are Richard and Iris. And here you go, Richard and Iris, you're on. How are you guys?
Very well, thank you.
Okay, well, thanks for coming. Thanks for contacting me and organising this. That's the stereo microphone right there. So, welcome to Little Germany. Is it your first time here?
Yes.
Yes, we've walked past and looked at it and thought we'd come in, and then it was closed.
They
and
were
they
on
were on
holiday.
holiday, and this is the
First time closed, second time on holiday. Yeah. They're not working hard, you know, they're not working. They're getting daggers now. But Kayasavaki, we were talking earlier on, Kayasavaki, you came and saw it in early on, 2005?
2005, 2006, which was probably our first time to Tenerife. And we're staying in Playa de Rina up the road, and we had a car and we came out and we came down all these side roads down this way. So we came down to Kayasavaki and went to Playa Paraiso. Now, Playa Paraiso in 2005, there was one building looking out over the sea and nothing else around it.
Wow.
And I think that's what you call Roca Negra now.
This is Roca Negra is the little row of shops.
Yes.
Yeah, but that whole building.
Just that one.
That's
So
all that was there.
the Rio wasn't built in 2005.
I don't remember anything across the
No,
road.
and the
Might be wrong.
Jardin de la something or other. I'm not sure. I know there was the ruin was there, right? There was like a big ruin at the top.
Oh,
And that's been there for 40 years, but they've just done it 2 years ago now into thingy flats. Let me just put us on here, so we're both on. So, yeah, I think they did that one, but you're right. That place down on the corner there, there was nothing there. There was nothing there. But now you've got the H10. You've got the 2 columns that have been put into the Hard Rock. You've had the Rio, which has been what's it called? Updated. And what's the other hotel there? I think there's something called Playa Paraíso, I think it's called. No, that's the place. Something Paraíso Sur, I think it is. Okay. And that's just a block of flats. Those are the blocks of flats we can see from our balcony when we're in balcony banter, because we can't actually see the Hard Rock Towers. But yeah, the whole coast has changed, even since we've been here, you know. And if it's not built, then it's been done stuff. So why Tenerife?
Well, as Richard said, we came in 2005. We had the 2 boys with us, so it must have been about 7 and 5, I should imagine, at the time. and no, 15 and 2005,
No, they
15
were
and
teenagers,
13,
yeah.
teenagers. And it was good for them because there's plenty to do around that area and everything else, and we liked it. So we kept coming back. That they were familiar with the place where they could go and everything else, and then
And it was
they grew up and we carried on coming.
Yeah, but it's a lot quieter up that end of it.
So Playa de la Línea, Santiago, Playa Santiago,
Los Gigantes.
and Los Gigantes, yeah?
We've stayed in most of the hotels around there.
You mentioned before you've stayed in the Barcalo.
Barcelona, that was our favourite. I mean, we stayed in there I don't know,
Don't
5
know.
or 6, 7 times.
But that is a fantastic hotel, right?
Beautiful hotel, beautiful facilities, and now they have, because of COVID, they've extended all the ground floor rooms to having gardens with sunbeds in, so that
Wow.
it cuts down the number of people on the
Terrace.
terraces.
Terrace,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But they've still got that big terrace, right?
Yes.
Yeah, on the top. So the
Yeah.
swimming pools are on. So the rooms go upside the cliff. And in fact, if you get an even numbered room, I think it faces La Gomera, and if you get an odd number room, it faces Los Gigantes. So
Gotcha.
The
Yeah.
best ones are the even number ones.
Excuse me.
And then there's about 5 or 6 floors go up the cliff, and then there's a swimming pool area, 3 swimming pools, and then there's a tower over the top, which is the oldest bit of the
original
Right,
hotel.
right.
hotel.
That sounds beautiful.
They're nice.
Yes.
I think we did the first Mystery Monday from there, and we went and had a coffee and had something to eat in the little bar, just to the
Downstairs.
yeah. I think it's
Yes.
it's outside, and then there's
That's
this
right.
long terrace.
Yeah.
On the street,
So
yes.
opposite Route 66.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Another
Route
good place
66
to
is
go.
like a restaurant, right?
No,
Well,
no,
it was
no,
a club,
no.
it was-
It's a bar with live music. So
All right. They don't do food.
no,
Cool.
no.
Only overnight.
All right. I've passed it. We've never been because I mean Christina's obviously we don't go out that much anymore. But Christina likes music, but if she's in a crowd of people, it's just too much for
But
her, you know.
you can sit outside, so she could sit outside on the terrace outside. They've got tables outside. She'd be fine.
She
the
hates
music's
going out.
inside.
I've got to drag her out on a Monday. I've got to drag her out on a Monday. If you're watching, Chris, she's on the computer now. If you're watching, Chris, well done for getting here.
So that's where we started, all around that area, and then we kept saying that we'd like to buy an apartment for when we retired. And eventually, one day we were walking down through Los Gigantes and walking past the estate agents, and we went in and asked, what does it actually cost? You know, and they just opened a drawer and said, well, this property will cost you £50 a month in, you know, insurance and blah 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 and everything else. And one of the properties that we saw in the window, we knew exactly where it was, in Playa San Juan, because we'd been there several times with as I said, rented cars. You go to different places. We went, we saw, we bought.
Vini vidi compra.
Just like that, yeah. And the estate agents take care of everything for you. They do everything. All you do is you just say yes, no, this, that, and then they say come back on a certain date, and you go and see the notary, sign the paperwork. Keys are yours, and here you go.
Cool. And you haven't had any problems with like the mortgage, or did you pay cash or?
Well, no, we'd retired. And
Okay.
So
It was retirement fund.
retirement fund and some inheritance, so
Okay.
it wasn't too bad. But
So if you're not borrowing money, there's less hassle, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I'll just go in my back pocket and get a couple. You know.
Yeah.
I don't have time tonight though, so I'll probably do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow.
But
Just hold my fat wallet.
You pay ground maintenance for them to look after the property.
Oh, it's like okay.
It's in a gated complex with a pool, and they look after all the outside and everything. So it's,
That is good.
Yeah.
The same as us, really. We're in a complex, and it's like an apartment, 2-bedroom. I don't know how many square meters or square feet it is, but it's 2-bedroom, separate kitchen, living room with diner,
yeah.
and then a wraparound terrace. So that's quite nice. We can go out either door, either living room or either of the bedrooms go onto the balcony.
Yeah.
Muchas gracias, señora. Naadlos Übergang. If you want to If you want to learn some German, this is a naadlos Übergang, which means an exchange without a break. A naadlos Übergang. Yeah, and we pay all our maintenance in the rent. So when they quote us the rent, it's including all the maintenance and everything.
Yeah.
And then I worked it out that if I bought it, I mean, I was in two minds whether to go. I couldn't afford to buy it outright, but I could afford to put a big lump sum down and then pay a mortgage, right? And then I worked it out that if I even got an interest-free mortgage, it would take me till I'm 85 to pay it off at the rent I'm paying now.
Right.
And they can't put the rent up more than inflation in 5 years. So, right, and they can only get your flat back if they move into it themselves. And because it's a cartel that owns it, then there's no chance of that.
No.
Because the cartel can't all move into my flat, right? So we're very well protected with the rent. So if you don't have that, you know, a nest egg or a retirement fund to go and do it, it's still possible to come over here with renting, because the renting here is very, very well protected, you know. So it's designed that you can't be thrown out on the street, basically.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are unscrupulous landlords that will do that probably don't even declare their winnings to the tax guy or anything like that. But if you get into a decent rental property, that's also okay. So buying it outright, mortgage or rental of a flat is any way to come here. Being a Brit, have you seen any changes now? I'm assuming you got British passports?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so obviously there's the 90-day piece. So I mean, we did think about staying for the winter, but now that's off the cards. Although I do hear some rumours that maybe they might change it so you could have your 90 days together, as it were. And I did hear that that's what the English do for the Europeans coming to England.
Right.
Banking, that's interesting. I used to put 100, 200 pound a month or something like that across into my bank here, free of charge. It's now cost me 21 euros every time I do it. So,
Regardless of how much you put in. Yeah.
so obviously we just put more money in one lump rather than.
Well, funnily enough, I was bitten with that as well, because you know I accept donations, right? And there was at one point we were saying people
£21 for every donation.
It was like that, yeah. If you go through Google, right, and you donate on the thing, they actually charge us 30%. So if you give a tenner, we get 7, right? So Google actually charges you 30%. And so I started doing PayPal, right? And PayPal people, you actually get the full amount there because you pay the exchange rate, or we get the bad exchange rate, but at least it's better than that, you see. But this one guy says, I just want to do a standing order. So thank you very much, you know. I said, well, thank you so much for the support, you know. And I mean, it was a great pleasure for me, you know. Thank you so much for your support like that. But it was costing like a fortune every time. But if you'd only transfer in 20 or 30 quid, then you know it's all gone in costs.
We found a way around it. What you do is you buy your euros in England, and you come out with 1,000 or whatever, and you pay the £1,000 of euros into your bank
account. Okay.
No charge.
No charge at all.
No charge at all. So you're passporting yourself. You have your own passport.
Laundering money.
Because it's only money laundering if you bring more than 10,000.
Yeah.
No,
we're not going to bring that.
In fact, if you transfer 9,999 euros, then the bank doesn't have to declare it, right? It only has to declare that you've transferred 10,000 euros. And if you do that twice in a certain amount of time, then it's seen as dodgy, right?
I think so.
It's
it
seen
would
as
be
dodgy.
if I had that to pay
Exactly.
twice.
But when I finished working in America, my bank account was in America, and we came back to Munich. It was, and I said, "Oh, we'll just transfer the whole lot back." And they said, "Well, we got to do all this Formula 5 and Formula 75 and transfer of money because it was over 10 grand, you see." And I was earning a fortune in America, and I thought, "Well, how do I get it back?" And they said, "Well, just draw it out at cash point, you see. So I said, what, the whole lot? They said, no, you're limited to 1,000 a day, right? So there's this guy, little bald fat guy in Munich, going to the cash point, 1,000, wasn't it? I thought, if somebody catches me doing this, sort of saying, just a minute, he's there again at that bloody cash point, and he's sort of like doing the dodgy bit, Yeah. Anyway, so we ended up paying the deposit on the house in Bensenbach for that one. But that was good. So America was good for us.
So you did the same thing. You took the cash and you paid the cash into the
I did, yeah. Well, I went to the cash point and took the dollars to euros, or it was dollars to marks, I think it was at the beginning. Because we came back in 2001. I think euros went at Christmas 2001. Was the euro came in, didn't it? So that was good. So yeah, that was fun. But banking, also, if you have a bank account, you have a resident bank account, or you have a foreigner bank account.
I don't know, it's just a bank account.
Do they charge you every month?
Resident.
No. So long as we pay in so much every 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's £2,500
£1,000 for 3 months.
Euros every 3 months, and they don't charge us.
Okay.
So all your bills get paid out of that. You come out here and you take the money out the bank and spend it and live on it.
So eventually it'll all be cryptocurrency and we'll all be going around sharing a Bitcoin.
Oh, no.
Where's my bit of the Bitcoin?
I don't think I fancy that one.
No.
I put £5,000 into the cryptocurrency about, when was it? In March.
Yeah.
And Christina says, I don't want you to do that anymore. I says, why not? She says, well, I saw one of these things, like a documentary in German TV, that shows you all the power and everything that it costs to run these computers, right? And the computers have to guess the password for the transaction, and the one who guesses it gets a bit of Bitcoin. And it was a really weird way that they do it, but it's very secure apparently. They use the blockchain.
They're guessing your password?
No. They use the blockchain on this to create transactions, and the transactions are fixed and can never be changed afterwards. And so it's a very safe and transparent way of keeping accounts of whose stuff is what, right? Yeah. But the way that they conclude the transaction is that you have to do this really complicated mathematical algorithm to guess a password for that transaction, and the person who gets it right gets the Bitcoin, right, for doing the transaction. So people have built farms up in northern climes where it's snowy all the time, because these places pump out so much energy because they're using so much electricity, right? So if you get a high electricity bill, you're either growing weed or you're mining Bitcoin. And this documentary was like they're pushing all the hot water back into the streams and killing all the life in the streams. So Chris is a little bit. I mean, she's very good. She's like me. She's got a conscience, but she's really sort of adamant with this. She says, I want you to get out of crypto, and I'm saying, well, I'm sort of winning a little bit, and you don't want to do it, And so she says, no, you're out. So I bought the earphones with my cryptocurrency. So I've got this card, this crypto card, and when you give it in, it's sort of real metal, I don't know if you go around me. It's a real metal crypto card, and every time I spend money, I get more crypto coin back. So you can never get away from it. There you go. I won't show you the number. Is that the number? Okay, I won't show you the number. There you go. Right.
Oh,
and you just use it like any other.
Yeah, it's a metal card.
Yeah. But I don't.
You can't use that on Amazon anymore.
You can make big gains and you can make enormous falls, can't you? With it?
Actually, you can never lose money.
Really?
No, because you always have the same amount of Bitcoin. You only lose money if you convert it to something else.
Convert it.
Yeah, so you only lose money if you convert it, right? So if you buy a Bitcoin, you've always got a Bitcoin. They don't take any away from you. But sometimes Bitcoin's worth 50 grand, and sometimes a Bitcoin's worth 45 grand, and sometimes a Bitcoin's worth 60 grand. So what people do is they sell it when it's high and buy it when it's low.
Just like any other currency.
Right, yeah, but buying currency, I mean, that's also not a part of my socialist upbringing, is it really? I mean, the only currency I buy, in fact, when I was a kid, my daughter was went to school and says, what does your mum do for a living? She said she loves me, right? She was a little kid. So what does your dad do for money? He goes out to buy money. Yeah. Anyway, enough of me.
We had the same thing when somebody asked our eldest what did his dad do? He goes to work to get money out of his desk.
Out of his desk.
And it was because when I took him up to see him at work, he would take out the coins to get a free cup of chocolate out of the machine.
All right.
So he thought, because he opened a drawer and gave him a coin to go and get the drinking chocolate from the machine, that's what he went to work for, to get the money out the drawer.
I'll tell you what, I'll have that job. I'll have that job anytime.
What a lovely thought.
We're going to take a break now, and I'm going to show you a little movie that I did a couple of weeks ago going to the Chinese restaurant. And we're going to have a little chit chat, and when we come back we're going to talk to Rob, and we're going to have a look at some of your comments. I know I've been ignoring your comments, but it's a great community we've got here, and I know you've been amusing yourselves. If there was any questions that you wanted to ask and it's all gone by now, just ask it again while this little film's playing, and we'll come back to you. So we're going to go mute. Well, my friends, I'm doing a bit of a Lee here, talking to you in the car. That's amazing, isn't it? I just put my glasses down on the desk, and there must have been a little ant, tiny little ant on it, because I just saw it running around my glasses, now it's crawling on my bloody head. I think I've got it, but you know what it's like. Once you've got something in your head, you don't know what it is. So we're going to get a Chinese tonight. We're going to a new Chinese in the Rosa Centre in Playa Paraíso called the Shan. The Shan is a sort of a Chinese type sushi bar type place with also Thai food, and so we'll see what's happening. Right, you're in 360 mode, so I'll actually upload this as well in 360, so if you're watching the flat version where I'm pointing you where I want you, then you can nip over and look at the 360 version, and vice versa. If you're in the 360 version, you can watch the flat version with all the titles and stuff in it. Right, see you in a bit. So we're coming into Playa Paraíso now. If you look through the dirty windscreen, you'll be able to see Hard Rock on the left there. And this is Cristorofo, I think it's called. Some sort of wellness place on the right here now. Paraíso Villas changed, used to be Cristorofo, but we'll see. As I say, you can see through the dirty windows. So we used to be able to go through the back door or the back way through the banana plantation, but unfortunately they've stopped that because they're doing some roadworks. I don't know whether they're widening or anything. I doubt it. They're probably just putting pipes and stuff in. They've been putting pipes and stuff in and a load of stuff on our road as well. So this on the right here is where they've got the road blocked, as we say. So next stop, Rosa Centre. There we go. And the restaurant we're going to is on the top floor, called the Shan. There you go. Okay, let's go in the underground garage, free parking. We'll see you in a minute. just ordered, and we're going to go and I'm getting a drink while I'm waiting, and then when it comes, we'll take you home, and we're going to eat in Jeff's place, and I'll show you the stuff on the plates. Right, see you in a bit. Blah 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 blah. You see, you thought that I didn't know I was muted, didn't you? Yeah? That's what you thought, didn't you? You were gonna go, we can't hear you, Tim. Turn your microphone to Faulty Towers moment immediately, Tim. Well, I've got a sense of humour. Hey, what we need now is to finish the first beer. And I'm going to try one of these, which is the light beer in a glass. It actually looks better than this, which has been sat there for a couple of seconds, so the head drops. But we'll do that. So we're going to go over now. We're going to come back to Richard and Iris in a minute, but we're going to go over to Rob C66, as in Route 66, to find out what he's been doing. Rob, that is your camera.
That's my camera.
That is your camera. How are you, sir?
I'm mighty fine, sir. All the best seeing you.
Actually, it was a surprise, wasn't it? Because I thought I'd missed something, that you'd contacted me and said I'm coming down. 'Cause there is another guy who said he's going to come down at 7 to say hello.
Right.
But it's Nick, I think Nick Pace. I did the walk with him yesterday.
Okay.
And I just thought it was just a surprise. You came down spec, right?
I was watching you from home on Monday,
Uh-huh.
and you said you were going to be here.
And so you bought a plane ticket and came over.
I'd already bought it.
Oh.
And I'll still be paying it for about the next 7 years.
Oh, dear, it was expensive.
No.
32 euros.
Oh no, it's a bit more than that, but I flew Jet 2.
Jet 2.
Yeah.
They were cancelling a lot, I heard. EasyJet and everything. They're not consolidating flights.
Well, I won't fly Ryanair.
No.
I was just before.
Oh, we don't have a microphone. I'm so sorry. Can we borrow the microphone?
Oh, yes.
I'm so sorry. A Faulty Towers moment. I forgot to give him a microphone. He was actually talking into mine, so you probably could have heard him. But we're going to call him here.
You're inside.
Or you just put the magnet inside somewhere. And clip that on. That's fine.
Yeah,
Anywhere there's fine.
yeah. Just when lockdown started,
Uh-huh.
I was going to just have a weekend away with my son to Dublin,
Uh-huh.
and all this happened. My hotel got cancelled. Nothing was open in Ireland,
Oh, wow.
and Ryanair said, "No, you can't have your money back. We're still flying." I said, "Yeah, but I'm going to be sleeping on the street. nowhere to go, nothing to do. Oh, your flight's still going anyway." So I did a chargeback.
On your credit card?
Yeah, the chargeback on credit card. But what Ryanair have been doing, people that have been booking flights recently,
Yeah.
if they've got a history of doing a chargeback, they've been threatened to cancel the flights unless they pay back the chargeback.
Oh, no. Carry on.
So yeah, that's what they're doing. So I've decided Ryanair are probably unscrupulous, so I will not use them again, even if I got paid more for another flight
Well,
with someone else.
I mean, well, we don't fly anymore because Christina doesn't want to travel anymore, so we don't fly anymore. But we used to use Norwegian, and the last time we came back from Germany, what happened was Norwegian. I put my bag with sort of two flat pockets. It was like a duffel bag with two flat pockets, just closed by the magnet. And my car keys were in the front pocket, and I checked it, and it was me hand baggage. And they said, "Oh, you're checking it for nothing." because they wanted to
yeah.
reduce things, you know. So anyway, I checked it in, and then immediately I knew that my keys were in it. So my keys are in it. Can you get it? No, we can't get it. It's gone down the thing. They said, well, go to the gate and tell them, and they'll go and pick it up. And I thought, oh, fine. Went to the gate, told them, my car keys are in the front. It's not secure. And can you go and get it? Oh, yeah, we'll get it before we go. You get on the plane. Anyway, he got on the plane. He came on. He says, everything's full. Close the doors. Push back. I said, where's my keys? Nobody knew anything about it. And of course, when I got to Tenerife, the keys were gone. They'd fallen out somewhere, or somebody had nicked them. And the biggest thing was both our wedding rings were attached to it, and another couple of sentimental things. We had to get all the locks changed. I had to get a brand new key for the car, which is another story. But yeah, so I mean, even things like Norwegian. Norwegian, you know who you are. You know who you are.
Banned.
You should try BA. BA, you can cancel right up to before you're going to go, and they give you a voucher back.
Well, there you go. Let's all book BA and cancel. So, Tenerife. Why Tenerife?
Why not? I mean, it's just one of those easygoing places. You can go do what you want, go where. And the last time I came to Tenerife was just before the first lockdown.
Okay.
And I got home about 2 weeks before lockdown, and when I was here, I got messages saying, "You're not anywhere near that hotel, are you?"
Oh, the H10 in La Caleta,
yeah, because I think I could come about the 28th of February or 25th of February, something like that.
Can you imagine at that time nobody was saying vaccinations are bad?
We didn't really know much about COVID. We threw out a few days before that. We threw out a few days before in the January.
Uh-huh.
And the next lot of people all got held back because of the sandstorm.
Ah, okay.
And so because they couldn't fly out, they got put in that hotel.
Wow.
It happened to me with that sandstorm. I was flying with Jet 2, and I live in Nottingham, but I decided to...
Craicmaster territory.
Yeah, well, he's from Mansfield. Well, actually, my football team's Mansfield Town, but I don't live in Mansfield. I live in
Mansfield, Nottingham, same thing.
Yeah. So we got to the hotel at East Midlands, and we were having a meal night before in the hotel, and I got a text message saying your flight is not going tomorrow.
Oh.
So we had to. They got in touch with us the next day, saying, but they didn't really tell us what was happening. So I just booked another night in a hotel. But then they said, "Oh, you're going the next day." So we went the next day, and we were stopping where you were, Playa de la Arena, Blue Sea, Lagos de Souza Hotel.
There is, Blue Sea.
Yeah, opposite the Arena Suites. But Jet 2 were very good. They paid for my extra night hotel in the at East Midlands. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
They're very good.
Well done, Jet 2. Have a chat with Norwegian. And EasyJet. Okay. Thank you, Rob, for coming on. I know you didn't want to talk too much, so I'm going to give the mic back to the other guests now. If we just whip that straight off. And you want to say hello to anybody before you go? Just a minute. You want to say hello to anybody before you go?
No, just
straight in the camera.
Just hello to a lot of people that I don't know. Everyone who follows Tim, all the comments. Some of them are quite amusing. So if I don't know you, hello to you.
There you go. The lighting's quite good now. You've got the nice sunset in the background and the Atlantic Holiday Company in the background. That's quite good. Right, here we go.
Thank you.
Is it that one? Yeah, it is. There we go.
Here we
Oh,
go.
we can see him fiddling now. Yeah, fiddling with the dress. Ah, you little fiddler, you.
Right.
Right, ladles and jelly spoons. Ladles and jelly spoons. So we got as far as buying the property. We got as far as why you're in Tenerife and how long you've been coming. What is the best thing that you've done in Tenerife, and what is the worst thing that's happened to you?
Well, I think the best. We've been lots of trips. I think the best trip was Tady by night.
Oh yes.
I think.
Tady by night?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't. I'm sure it's still going, but obviously
What's the name of that company?
Well, that was the other, the Jeep, the Tamarind Jeeps. That's that's
Did
the
you
other
book it
outfit.
through Dan?
No, we
No,
didn't.
his name's Frank. Is it Frankie or something? Isn't
Yeah,
it?
no, we were two different things here. So, Tady by night.
Tady by night, yeah.
First time we went, you go up and have a sunset, and there was a couple who got engaged.
Went down on one knee.
Where the sunset's up there, and then they took us to the Parador for dinner.
Okay.
And then they took us out, and two guys with laser pens, and they showed us the stars with their laser pens. Fabulous night.
Absolutely.
Done that twice. Second time we didn't go for the Parador. We went to someone a little bit cheaper, but still.
You learn.
You got the brownie points for the Parador the first time, right?
Yeah.
There's no extra brownie points for that. Yeah.
Tamarind Jeeps were. They do a VIP Jeep, so you go around in a sort of big transit.
Okay.
Comfortable transit.
Uh-huh.
So we did La Gomera with them, which
Sound
was
like
really
Americans,
nice.
you do. You did La Gomera.
Yeah.
They take you to the top of La Gomera,
Uh-huh.
and there's a restaurant up there,
Uh-huh.
and you sit there and you're level with Tady. You're looking at
Right, so
Tady.
you're over the clouds, are you?
Yeah, over the clouds.
wow.
It was a lovely meal.
Cool. Cool.
Absolutely lovely meal, and the view and everything was fantastic, wasn't it?
Oh,
Good,
wow.
Very good.
You know, that's the one thing that I regret is that when we got here, Christina's eyesight deteriorated pretty quickly after that. And so she says she wants to stop touring. I used to take her up the mountain and stuff to, we actually never been to Masca.
No.
Never been. Because we got halfway there and she said, Tim, I'm going to be sick because I can't see very well and it's like sitting in a box and you're shaking me
Yeah.
around these things. So she doesn't want to do it anymore. What she really loves is going out and listening to stuff. So if we can go to a place where there's some flowers that smell nice, or there's a nice sea breeze, or there's some sort of rolling.
Take her out on the Flipperuno from Los Gigantes. It's a sailboat, like a pirate
She won't
ship.
get on a boat.
No,
She
and you
won't
go
get on a
out
boat.
and you see the dolphins and the whales and everything.
Yeah, but you can't see that.
They're right next to the boat.
She can't see your face sat next to you.
That
She can only see an outline of you.
Oh, it's a shame, isn't it?
Her eyesight is so bad. She can see 2D pictures, so she's close to the TV. We've got a massive TV. Well, not massive, but we've got one of the widescreen TVs. And if she's watching that and the picture doesn't move, she's okay. She can sort of like tell who's who.
Yeah.
But if it's like talking to you here, she can't do 3D.
No.
So she can just see your outline. So she doesn't even know what I look like. Thank God for that. She just says your outline's getting a bit wider, Tim. So we got 40 minutes on already. Time's gone flying, hasn't it? What we're going to do, we're actually going to cut this short today because I've shown the movie. I know you've been, I know you've been chit-chatting away on there, and I do apologise for ignoring you, but both of the guests were so, let me do this one. Both the guests were, you're on again, by the way. Yeah, you're big on the top now.
I'm just writing to Ian, actually.
Oh, he's writing to Ian, okay. So both the guests were really interesting, and I really want to ask you a bit more in the intimate without sort of a load of iPads and stuff. Let me just show you what they're seeing, all right? So I'll take this thing here. If you just point that at me, all right?
I'll take it. Yeah.
That's what they're seeing, right? So they're seeing a
this
load
up.
of iPads and stuff, and when I'm talking to them, I've got to look around the corner and everything like this, you know.
All right, I don't know what it looks
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the romantica behind me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's that there?
Oh, that's nice.
That's still
So
good,
we're gonna.
that's good.
I'm gonna show you the sunset, and then we're gonna finish it.
Yeah.
So, is there anything you guys want to say before we finish it?
Yeah, will you just say hi to all our family back home in England, especially to our grandson Isaac. Nanny and Grandad.
Cool dudes, and you've said to everybody,
Hi, Isaac.
and hi Isaac from B2. So here we go. So we're going to show you a little bit of the sunset, which is beautiful, and then we'll be right back.
Well, that'd be something they can show him on the telly, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that. That is
He's only one.
fantastic.
Did you feel nervous about it?
They should ban cars being parked across the way there.
Instead.
There you go.
I'm having a drink all day. Because that's all information I don't.
Oh wow.
I see that.
Down here is down to the beach,
I can wrap it anyway, can't I?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
and we got Little Germany,
Talking the most.
Irish bar, and New Lulu's right at the end there. They can still hear you, you know.
We're still
They
here.
can still hear you.
Oh, well, of course I can, yeah.
Okay, we're saying everything nice.
I should warn people, shouldn't I? That your microphone's still on. Oh, look, Timmy's got a big fat bum. That's what she's saying. Look.
And all the cameras.
And here's the cameras. There you go. And that's the thing. And this is the things that I can get. This is so I can see there. So anyway, this is Tim down for Living with MS in Tenerife. Thank each and every one of you for joining me today. And I'm stereo now. Stereo. We're going to finish up now, talk to these guys. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. We'll see you on Meetup Monday. If you're on the island, drop me a line, timothydowd.com, and drop me a line and tell me if you're coming or not. We're there from 5:30 to about 7:30. If we're having fun, I stay a bit later, but Christine doesn't like it when I stay later, but she's fine. She's got a new wheelchair back. Those of you who just joined us, we're in Little Germany and we're drunk as the Lord. So this is Tim, Rob, Iris and Richard saying goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
And Kirsten, of course. And don't forget, if you come to Little Germany, book before you come, and if you say the code word anti-establishment Arianism, Betty Butter Butts and Butter 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 Betty Butters, Betty Butter Butters and Betty Butter Betty Butter Butter Betty Butter before, then you get 5% off. Love you and leave you. It's Tim Never Lived Never Tenerife. Bye. 10,000, 9,000, 8,000, 7,000, 6,000, 5,000. I banged my head as well. 4,000.